Oh, God. So good. So anyway, new codex. That got very weird very quickly. Let's move on from that, shall we? Hello, my name is Kerry Arth, and today we are going to take a little look at that there Faith and Damnation preview, the Warhammer preview online for today, and there's a solid start. There's a solid start here, alright? I'm liking this. This is Undead Conquerors of the Mortal Realms. It's the Soulblight Gravelords, and there is some tasty things in here, okay? Let's take a look. Let's have a look first. Blood Knights. New Blood Knights. Not old Blood Knights. New Blood Knights. They look so good. I cannot help but really like these. Like, really like them. They just look immense. They really do. The armour is really nice. It's still very stylized, but it's not massively overcomplicated. The cloth that's coming out from underneath the armour looks really cool. The armour on the actual, like, just overall, the armour on the horses looks great. The armour on the riders is so vampire, but not like, again, they've not gone absolutely mental with it. They've kept it looking good. They've kept it looking good and thematic, but it's not too over the top. It's not too extreme, which I really like. Yeah, I just can't get enough of these. I can't get enough. That added, like, decoration coming out of the back there, that kind of, I don't know, they're almost like wings coming out of the shoulders. It's very, that admittedly is quite over the top, but it just looks so menacing and weird. It seems like, almost like a challenge thing. It's like, look how big my armour is. Come at me, let's go. I just really like these. I think they've done a really good job with them. The banner looks really nice. It looks like it's an embossed one, so like it'll all be, the detail is already there, you just need to paint it in. Yeah, oh man, they just look so good. They just look so good. Really feels like another instance of not going completely crazy with it, preserving the feel and bringing it up to date, which is what you want. Let's face it. I mean, just for reference, these are the old Blood Knights, and I mean, you can see they've kept the look, they've kept the feel, but they've just updated it. They've just brought it in line with everything else in terms of quality. Yeah. Again, 100% approval for these new ones. They just look really nice. I think the only thing I'm not sure about is the colour of the armour of the riders, the actual vampires. I feel like it's a bit too bright. It's a bit too at odds, because I think it works a bit better with the kind of style that the old ones are painted at. I'll say that the new ones are painted better. It would definitely painted better, but yeah, I think I prefer the armour being matching as per the old ones. But that's just an aesthetic choice. That's just a colour choice. It's not affecting the model at all, which I still think looks really good. We also have, alongside the Blood Knights, new Death Rattle Skeletons. Now, I'm in two minds of these, because I do like these a lot. They're very reminiscent of the ones that they're doing for the Cursed City, and I mean, you know how much I like those skeletons. I gushed over them enough. But the current Death Rattle Skeletons kit is so good, and I like it so much, and it's so useful, and it has so many decent parts, that a little part of me is a little bit like, oh, don't get rid of it, please. Like, I use that kit for a lot of stuff, so the idea of it being retired and these taking over. That being said, pretty sure I could find some use for these. And they do look really nice. They look a bit more unique now as well. They look a bit more, I don't know, they fit in slightly better, I think, with the rest of just Age of Sigmar as a whole. The old Death Rattle Skeletons are fairly generic in that they're just skeletons. There's like scraps of armour if you really want to put some armour on them, but you can just build a bunch of skeletons with rusty swords, and that's about it. These have got more personality, I think it's fair to say, but that does mean that they're not quite as generalised in terms of things like conversions. But then again, as just a kit, just a squad, they look really solid. They look super solid. I love the detail of like the broken armour and stuff. It works super well. But it's not just them either. There's also Dead Walker Zombies. So there are 10 Dead Walker Zombies in the Cursed City box, right? And they all have, actually, you can you can see an example. They all have like the coffin lids and the stakes driving through the chest, and I like them, but I felt like the motif was a bit over repeated. It didn't need to be that many. Now these ones, like the ones that are available outside of the box, like their own box, these are really good. These are exactly what I would want to see from the same unit, but more varied. They've all got this really cool like root thing going on, where you've got like bits of roots that have grown out of the bodies, which is super grim and also so appropriate for my Nightmare Sylvaneth army, which is just so perfect. Don't know how I would fit them into this, but I don't care. I would end up doing it anyway. But yeah, there's so much more variation, but they all have this kind of repeated pattern of bits of like tree and stuff growing out of them. It's really grim. It's super grim, and I really like it. And I really do think that difference of not all of them having the gravestone on the back, it does a lot to break that effect up. It makes it much more impactful when you've only got like one or two that have that kind of gravestone with the stake through the heart, but the rest are just kind of normal zombies, sort of, but with this really awful like root bit growing out of them. It makes it more impactful when you see the ones that have got the stakes all the way through. That with the woman with the cleaver thing, by the way, that is horrific. That is properly horrifying. It's great. That is so good. Same with the one with the knife there, with the roots growing all the way through the chest and down the arm. So grim. So grim, but so good. And then there's also some fell bats, which they're okay. I like them. Yeah, I like them. These just aren't my thing in general. Like, I think they've done a good job sculpting them. I think the detail's nice. The feet seem to be on backwards, which is a bit. Are they on backwards? Is that how bat feet work? They don't. They look like they're kind of on backwards, but then I don't know if those are really what. I'm not a bat foot expert, to be honest. Yeah, I can appreciate the detail, and I can definitely appreciate the paint job. The blend on the wings is lovely, but they're just not my thing. They're just not something that I would really class myself as being particularly interested in. So yeah, they're fine. I like the look of them, but not something I'm massively fussed about. But I can appreciate the detail, and they do look pretty horrible, to be honest. Which is, I guess what you're going for with fell bats. There is, of course, a battletome as well with a solid cover. I really like the cover. I love the cover. It looks really good. There's for a start, it feels like the perspective is correct, which is nice. I think that's really nicely done. It just looks horrifying in the best way, like the properly best way. Solid work on the battletome there. Now, what else do we have? Well, we've got the realms will quake, so let's take a look.
I was buried in the mountain, trapped under the rock. I have escaped my prison, but my people are gone.
So, Broken Realms Kragnos. I'm sure that means something to some of you, but I'm afraid that is a name with which I am not particularly familiar. So, let excitement commence for those who know what that means. I'm sure it's going to be interesting, but I just don't have any experience with that. So, we don't know about you, but we're not sticking around to find out who that was. Someone important, I'm guessing. Now, Warhammer Underworlds, the tithe is due. Okay, I think, it's mere Kainan's Reapers. It's Kainan's Reapers. His first name's Mir, or Mr. Kainan, as he is to us. And he stays firmly, like, up there as my favourite Ossiarch Bone Reaper. But, shut up, chair, he also has come with some lads. Some decent looking lads, but I think he's still the standout for me personally. Also, he's massive. He's bloody tall. So there's a few obviously other models in this warband, and whilst they whilst they look okay, I still like the armour a lot on the Ossiarch Bone Reapers. I also like the cloth, but then the cloth is used for a lot of different models. I think these look alright. I think they look okay. I'm not a big fan of that guy's head, but I do like his sword. The head just doesn't quite work for me, to be honest, on that one. It just looks weird, and I can't really work out why. The archer is really nice. For some reason, that just works. But I couldn't really tell you why. It's just one of those things where I looked at it and went, you know what? That's decent. That's decent. That's cool. That lad has a lot of attitude, and I really like him. Really like him. The crow with the lack of feathers on the head is a nice touch. That's quite fun. The halberd looks pretty evil, to be honest. I like all the almost like scrolls that are on the back there is a nice touch. And the fact that his, whatever it is he's holding seems to be melting through his hand, again, I really like. Yeah, overall, not a bad looking warband. Not a bad looking warband, but I have to admit that Kainan himself is by far my favourite still. By far. I just think there's something about that model that it just has something that the others don't have. There is a presence to it. There's a presence and a personality to it that the others just lack. This looks almost completely intimidating to my eye, whereas there are little bits here and there that just don't quite hit home for me. That's not to say they're bad. I think mostly it's just that the smaller Ossiarch Bone Reaper stuff I just don't think is necessarily to my taste. Like, I really like the big like four-armed warriors, and the cavalry's kind of cool as well, but your normal infantry lads don't quite do it for me, but like characters like this absolutely do. It just looks great. Just looks great, this guy. I would love to be able to pick him up by himself, to be honest. I wouldn't mind not having the rest of them. That's just a model that I want to own. Now, moving on, we've got some Necromunda goodness. We've got some lads. We've got the Redemptionists. So, House Cawdor has every right to be angry. They've seen the Goliath, Escher, Orlok and Van Saar clans get their house of books. They've been feeling left out. Fear not, for the God Emperor provides for the faithful, and House of Faith is a very good book indeed. I do like that cover, by the way. That's a cool cover. So, yeah, it's the Redemptionists. They have a relationship with the outlaws known as Redemptionists, and good lord, these lads are crying out to be used as like a retinue for a radical Ordo Hereticus Inquisitor, right? It's not just me, is it? Surely. I mean, it is absurdly over the top. The guy has got a brazier thing on top of a skull on top of a stick. Is it a flamethrower, or is that like some sort of Voxcaster thing? It's actually a little difficult to tell. I'm not sure. He also has the gnarliest chain axe I've ever seen. All of the teeth are exposed. Do you think this is because every now and again someone's like, but wait, how does this even work? And they went, alright, fine, we'll show you. Because you can see how it works there. Sort of, kind of. How is it being driven? How is it... Let's not get too far into that. We've already seen this lad. Amazing hat. Quality flamer. Still like the guy. Looks cool. This guy is absolutely solid. I'm not... I know Cawdor have got the whole mask thing, but his is not quite doing it for me. The rest of the model I really like. The kind of like spikes behind the head there, almost like railings, kind of. They're a nice touch. Again, that's a shotgun with an underslung flamer, which is an interesting combination. Not going to complain about that. Looks cool. This guy has got proper anime hair. That is full-on anime hair. In fact, that might be the most anime model they've ever made, just by dint of the hair alone. Again, nice combination of weapons there. You've got some sort of... Is that a stubber of some sort? An auto gun of some sort? But again, with the underslung flamer, can't complain about that. I'm liking the fact they've all got the noose on the belt. That's a nice touch. Mind you, this guy's also got some pretty hefty anime hair. Yeah, there's... might be some head swaps going on if I pick these lads up, which is highly likely. Overall, like it. Again, the kind of overall aesthetic is good, but the hair is really, it's really something. Jesus. Lads, what is this? what is the hair about? Really like the overall look of it, and an amazing weapon there. Absolutely amazing. Love it. Absolutely love it. But come on now. Come on now. What is the hair about? I mean, hair aside, solid lot. The leader is really cool. It is very over the top, very silly. I feel like a bit of Sisters of Battle inspiration there with the whole stained window archway over the head, because the one who runs I want to say it's the Exorcist. Is it the Exorcist? I think it's the Exorcist. Or is it the Immolator? No, it's the Immolator has got the lass with the stained glass head. I think. Oh, I might have them the wrong way around. Either way, definitely feels something a little bit similar to that, but overall I really like these. They are mental. They're absolutely mental. Genuinely absurd, but in all the right ways, for my money, in all the right ways. Now, there's also a new Necromunda box as well, which is House Escher versus House Delac, which is cool. That's a cool combination. I do like the Delac models. They're nice. That's the contents of the box. Decent amount of scenery. You've got your board, some dice measuring sticks, and so on and so forth. And it looks like a decent pack, to be honest. Looks like a decent box. Nice way to get started into the game. So you got a full Escher gang, full Delac gang, rulebook, Zone Mortalis, columns and walls, barricades and objectives, 16 dice, game cards, blast markers, tokens, and a gaming mat. And that looks like a decent way to get in. Now it's time for Adeptus Mechanicus to get a little bit of love, because their codex is on the way. So as they say, as the Forge World of Metallica comes under attack from a massive chaos invasion in Warzone carried on Act 1, the Book of Rust, the Adeptus Mechanicus are putting their best robotic foot forward to face the oncoming threat. They are getting this lad, and they're getting a codex. So that's nice. So yeah, while it's not uncommon for tech priests to be as skilled at commanding their cohorts as they are tinkering with technology, an extra pair of hands can never hurt on a chaotic battlefield, for once they've decided to give those hands their own body rather than just welding them to their own spine. This is the Skitarii Marshal, and looks absolutely mental. Obviously, very clearly Skitarii. The helmet is, well, head? Helmet? Head? Helmet? Both, probably. There's some nice ornamentation going on there. I quite like the kind of embossed look. You've got your usual Skitarii coat on the go. It seems a little bit more rugged in a way, or at least the arms seem, well, one arm, very, very, thick, heavy, robotic, as opposed to the kind of normal spindly look the Skitarii go for. Overall, I quite like it. It looks like this is I think this is going to be one of those deals where it's like, here's a codex, here's one new thing for your codex. Like, here's your new character to go with your new codex, which is a trend that we've seen plenty from Games Workshop in the past. Looks like that's continuing on into this edition, and this is your lad for it. Overall, I quite like it. Nothing, I would say for this, nothing spectacular. It's not blowing me away. It is cool. I'm not going to lie and say that I don't like it, because I do, but it's not like I'm not sitting here going, oh my god, yes, I've waited for this. Like, this is so good, it adds so much. It doesn't, but it's fine, it's nice enough, it's okay. Slowly getting more and more pessimistic as we go on. Let's move down to the codex, because this is such good art. Look at the tech priest on the front of this thing. Look at him. Look at him. I'm going to zoom in so you can see him more. Look at that. I must make it. I need to make it. It's calling out to me. It's like, please, please, bring me to life. Make me a real model. Oh God. So good. So anyway, new codex. That got very weird very quickly. Let's move on from that, shall we? So that'll be showing up in April. So not too long. You've only got a bit of time before it shows up and you get your codex if you're an AdMech player. So good news there. Now on to more inappropriate noises, because the Sisters of Battle have been getting reinforcements. in the form of the castigator. And wouldn't you know it, it's a massive tank. Well, not a massive tank. It's essentially a Predator variant is what you're getting. But you know what? It looks solid. It looks I love the extra detail, the filigree you've got on there, the repeated fleur-de-lis motif. You've got your heavy bolters on the side. You've got some sort of battle cannon on the front. It just looks great. It just looks great. It's a Sisters of Battle tank. How could it not look great? It's got the little statuettes in the on the armor on the sides. Can't go wrong with that. You've got your kind of incense burner, like brazier things coming out of the exhausts. Again, you can't go wrong. I love it. I'm loving it. I don't care if it's just another Rhino chassis vehicle. I don't care. That is solid. So it's called the Castigator. Someone is about to get severely reprimanded. Yeah. Oh, look at it though. This is what I want to see. This is the kind of thing I like. Over ornamented, like really gothic and lots of little detail, and it's just perfect. Perfect for Sisters of Battle. It just really is. Got a couple of different variants as well by the look of things. Oh yeah. So fans of the Immolator and Exorcist tanks will immediately feel right at home among the Baroque stylings who got overexcited of the Castigator, with plenty of ornamental filigree adorning every surface, even the cannon barrel. Yep, I'm loving it. Absolutely love it. How could you not? And to round things out here for this preview, we've only got some orc stuff. My god, some orc things. So let's tell you what. Let's, again, play the copyright gamble and see whether we can get away with it. Let's go.
Right, boys, listen up. In the beginning, Gork and Mork needed some fighty lads. So they did some stuff, and their orcs appeared. Some of them were runts, but there was lots of boys too. Some of them were big, and some of them were weird, but they was all mean and green. Except the red ones. And the biggest and greenest get around is the big boss. And we's gotta listen to him, cause he's taking us on the Great War. That's where all the best fighting is. We's gonna use all the shiny new trucks and shooters to crump down you what? We don't need that junk. Shut up, you git. As I was saying, the other lads have their shinies and their know-whats, but they don't know how to use them proper. Not like us. We's got our stickers and our squigs. We's gonna drag them down and crump them good, with hands and teeth and none of that fancy truck gubbins. That's why we're the biggest and we're the strongest in any clan we're in. Saddle up, beast snaggers. The war's coming.
So you've got questions, I understand. Who are the Beast Snaggers? Was that a squig they were riding? Is the first narrator okay? I'll be honest, I think that's one of the best little animation things they've done for a while. It had me giggling in a frankly embarrassing way. It's Snakebites. Look at the majesty of the big four-legged squig with the iron jaw nailed to its own jaw. Oh my god. I don't know what you're expecting from me other than to just be like, this is quality. This is quality. They're doing it. I mean, I still can't see any sign of a new boys kit. But you know what? We've got a lad on a squig here. I mean, come on. I love it. What? Why? It's such a baffling decision. But don't get me wrong. I still like it. It's just like the priorities are mental. They're just mad. I don't understand. But then they drop this in front of me, and I'm like, but But lads, the Orc Boys kit is the same one when I started playing the game, and I'm fucking old now. It was like 20 years ago, and it's the same goddamn kit. And I really feel like a new one would be pretty class. But then you've shown me this, and somehow I'm not mad. I just want this. It may be fickle, and it may be weak-willed, but I don't care. I just don't care. Look at it. What? Oh, Snakebites are back. So good. Or Snagger Tooths, or whatever the hell they're called. What are they called? Beast Snaggers. Sure, why not? I mean, that's a solid way to end. That's alright, I'll take it. What the hell? Oh, more squigs. More squigs. Keep your eyes firmly trained on Warhammer Community and discover what you can do in the face of this new threat. No, I'll just join in. That's fine. Oh, God. Love it. I'm just leaving it on this. Just going to leave it on this. Oh. Okay. Well, there you go. That was the preview, Faith and... What was it? Faith and Damnation. I keep thinking... Although Faith and Damnation, does that even make any sense in the context of what we've seen today, really? I suppose it kind of does. I think like one thing... Oh, no, I guess Redemptionists and Sisters of Battle. Alright, no, and it's undead. Okay, fine, I'll shut up. But still, I just keep reading about piety and pain today, which is why I keep getting the name wrong. Yeah, some pretty fun stuff showing off there. Genuinely, some fun stuff, some cool things. Some nice models. Some really nice models. And a Sisters of Battle tank. I mean, come on. Not bad. Not bad overall. Plus, I need to turn that Adeptus Mechanicus codex into a real thing. Oh, it needs to be done. It needs to be done, but it's going to be so bad to try and do it. Such is the plight of the addicted kit basher. Let me know what you thought of that lot in the comments down below. Anything that really caught your eye, anything you're super excited about, anything you're just going to grab on day one and you know it, let me know in the comments. In the meantime, feel free to click all the things, Patreon, video, subscribe, all that stuff. Click it if you like, don't click it if you don't want to. And as always, there's an affiliate link in the description for Element Games, which you can use to support the channel if you would like. I leave it in your capable hands. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.